Comments like this literally have me furious because if anything, when you have children, you have to have higher standards because you're not just dating for yourself, you're dating for your kids too. And if that person's not like amazing, why would you want them in your children's life? Like, if they're not amazing for me, they're not going to be amazing for my kids. I do not want them in either of our lives. And like, people saying this sort of stuff is fucked. Like that you got some sort of less value.
One can take away your value as a person. Now, your value in the sexual marketplace is lower because you come with children, which means greater responsibility. But what bothers men is that you want higher standards once you already have a child. Why didn't you have those standards before you got pregnant? That's what single mothers like the one you're about to see in this video don't understand. She's upset because men aren't pursuing them. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment. Let's get started.
40% of babies that are being born right now are being born to single mothers. 40%. I saw this in a video and I was like, there's no way. It can't be that high. It can't be that bad. Society can't be that bad right now. And I Googled it. And there you have it. 40% outside of wedlock. I am so scared for the future. If we think our society is weak now, imagine all these kids that are being raised right now by single moms and what that's going to create for the future. Most of the people that are in jail were raised by a single mom. Why is having a baby taken so lightly these days? This is the biggest decision that you will ever make in your life. Having a baby and who you will have the baby with. Stop having kids out of wedlock. If you don't think the person is good enough to marry, then why would that person be good enough to have a baby with?
This is going to be controversial, but I'm a single mom and I would never date someone that has kids. So when that's a deal breaker for people, I 1000% agree with them. And no, I don't feel offended. I think it's 100% valid. I was just thinking this because earlier this week, I actually ran into someone. I was in a parking lot and he almost hit my car. And so he got out of his car and was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." And I'm like, "It's totally fine." And he just kind of like hit on me, asked me for my number, blah, 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 blah. And while he was doing so, he was super handsome, by the way. He gets his toddler out of the back seat and I immediately went, hell no. Like in my head, obviously not out loud. And there's just a lot that goes into that because immediately I'm like, your baby looks like he's probably 2 years old. That's really fresh. I'm assuming he might be co-parenting, he might not. I don't want to be a part of that drama. I also don't want to be a stepmom to a toddler. I have a middle schooler. I don't want any more kids. And literally, I just saw my entire life flash before my eyes. So I can imagine when I tell, someone that I like I have a child, I'm pretty sure they are thinking the same things that I think. And I think this is the main reason why I don't take dating seriously. I have never introduced anyone to my parents other than my son's dad. I have never introduced anyone to my son. I don't care to have a serious relationship because I know that it's just not for me right now. And I have told myself I really want to start dating and put myself out there probably when I'm in my mid 30s because that's when my son will be 18. I won't have as much I won't be restricted as much in what I can and can't do. And it's just not something that I care for right now.
Mom guilt is so real when you're dating as a single mom. But I want to let you guys know that it is okay to date. All right? Until you are fully healed. Go get that free meal. Make sure your intentions are clear with the other person. And go get dressed up. Go do it. Go get that free meal, sis. Enjoy yourself. If you are introducing somebody to your children and they're at the age where they can fully understand what is going on, have that conversation with them. Talk to them about it. What does that look like? And don't mention a name yet, baby. Just talk to them. What if I did, start dating somebody? How would you feel? And you could take whatever they say, you could take it but make sure you are listening to your children. All right? And obviously, I've been through a separation and I have 3 kids and I met somebody amazing after the fact. And I had to have a conversation with my kids on how they actually felt about it. Make sure that person is as committed to you as you are to them. As women, we kind of grasp onto this idea of what it would look like in this man, and we capture the idea of the man inside of our heads, and then we end up in situations where it doesn't last, it doesn't stick. And then next thing you know, our kids are going through another breakup. And if the child is younger, make sure if you want to introduce somebody, make sure you introduce as a friend. Okay, so whenever you're introducing as a friend, you don't hold hands, you don't kiss. And this kid's gonna be like, oh my gosh, we got a new friend. But make sure that that person is going to stick around before you even introduce a friendship to your child. You heard me. I know. It's scary. And it is our right to have mom guilt. It is our right to be like, oh my gosh, I want to go, but I feel bad that I'm leaving my kids at home with a babysitter. But you got to do it, sis. How are you going to meet somebody just sitting there? And lastly, it's not a race. You don't have to meet somebody right away. It's going to feel lonely at times, and that is okay. You make sure that your mental state and your children's mental state can handle bringing somebody new inside of that door. Okay? That's my food for thought of the morning. Good morning. Love you all. Bye.
Stop it. Get some help.
See why they're hypocrites? They complain when a man without kids doesn't want to date them, but their own market, single fathers, doesn't appeal to them. Do you know where many single mothers end up? As a man's side piece, in the vast majority of cases. Or looking for a man with limited options but solid income, so they can turn him into a beta provider. Let me tell you, it's concerning that 40% of babies are being born to single mothers. Many of them are in that situation because of irresponsibility, because they live with a replacement mindset, ready to leave the father of their children at the first inconvenience, putting their kids' future at risk. A child raised by a single mother has fewer chances of succeeding and is far more likely to be mistreated, both by the mother and by society. And sometimes, like the last woman we saw, the little boy doesn't understand at first. But once he grows up, he realizes that all those so-called friends or uncles who kept coming in and out of the house were just the men his mother was sleeping with.
Dating as a single mom is so hard because we've already been a wife that I can't be a girlfriend. I don't want to do the whole, what's your favorite color? What's this? I literally baked a man banana bread, chocolate chip banana bread for our first date because the bar is literally in hell. I cannot, one, baby another man, two, spend all my time with another man. I got too much shit on my plate to deal with this. So call me celibate until further notice.
You guys, this guy got on here on TikTok and started talking about how he will never date a single mom, okay, because he doesn't want to have to deal with the fact that she's not available when he wants her to be available, and she has to find a sitter. And as a man who has all of his stuff together, even though he is also a single dad, right, he'll never date a single mom because she's basically of less status than him. I just had to laugh. He goes on to say, like, well, I have my stuff together and I have my co-parenting arrangement intact, so I don't have to worry about getting sitters. It's like, sir, your baby mama is your sitter, right? He's literally talking about the fact that he won't date the very type of woman that he created, another single mom. So you're going around spreading your peen everywhere and creating single moms. And then you're turning around saying, I don't want to date those same women that I created, in the delusion that somehow his life is all together because he has a great co-parenting arrangement. That means you probably have your kids every other weekend, which means you have so much time to date. You don't have your life together. Your child's mother is your babysitter. She's freeing up your time so that you can go date. And to sit there and rag on a single mom and say you're upset that she has to find a sitter and that she's busy and that she's putting her kids first, major ick. What grown adult man says that? What grown adult man, okay, with children, rags a single mom for being responsible to her children? I'll tell you what kind of man says that. A man who consistently gets rejected, Okay. The fact that he gets rejected, especially by a single mom, now he wants to go in and pound his chest and say, I'm not ever dating a woman like that because when I am available, I expect for you to be available. This is why I like to date women that don't have kids because then they can just focus on me. This is a guy who has gotten rejected, right? All the focus wasn't on him and he's upset because true men, right, that want to date a woman that has children, they both make it work. And if that woman really wanted to be around you, she would have made it work. So if you're having problems, it's because she was probably curving you. Oops.
Gotcha, bitch.
It's always, oh, you must just have so many other hoes that you're paying attention to. I know you're entertaining so many different men. You just don't text me enough. You must not be that into me. Literally, I just worked a full day, had to come home, cook me and Zuri dinner, listen to about 3 tantrums already within the span of like an hour, have to give her a tub, put her to bed. That's going to take about another 2 hours if I'm lucky, and maybe have an hour of me time before I go to bed. And you think I want to sit here and go back and forth. How was your day? How was your day? How's your day? What are you doing? What are you doing? How'd you sleep? Boy, be so for real. Next time, ask me how you could alleviate some of this stress.
Those guys out there creating single mothers, are they doing it alone? Or are the women choosing to sleep with them? They're the ones who decide not to protect themselves. They're the ones chasing Chad's seed. They're the ones who date a man who tells you he has 2 kids with 2 or 3 different women, doesn't pay child support for one of them, is constantly fighting with the mothers of his children, yet you come up with the brilliant idea of having his 3rd or 4th child. Why? Let me guess. Because he loves you and will change for you. That's why I say responsibility is kryptonite for women. That story about how the real father is the one who raises the child, not the one who fathers it. That you're a real man for dating a single mother and taking responsibility for another man's seed. My friend, that's just a cheap line single mothers use to trap some naive guy into helping raise another man's child. And let me be clear about this. If you choose to date a woman with children, at least make sure she only has one. Make it clear that she needs to give you a child within 1 to 2 years, so you don't waste years of your life raising another man's kid, only to never see that child again if she leaves you.
It is nearly impossible to date as a single mom or a single parent. One, because the dating pool is just, it's rough. Yeah. So that's for starters. Second, if you are a single parent, you barely have time to yourself. And the fleeting moments that you do have are spent cleaning, are spent trying to take care of yourself, are spent doing other things. And most of the time, your phone is not your main priority, at least for me. And I feel bad because communication's like a super big thing for me. But sometimes I don't get back to people for like 2 days. And I always let anybody I know or anybody I'm talking to know that you have to be patient because there's a lot going on up here, bud. And most of the time your text message is not the first thing that's on my list. My child is first priority in my brain and anything in my life. And if you think you're patient enough to handle that, cool. But most of the time it only lasts maybe a week. 2 is being generous. So yeah, it's very rough out here. And, you know, it sucks being naturally a lover girl, as people like to call it. I'm very nurturing. I love to love. I would rather nurture somebody, not be in a relationship, but I don't know, like being in this society where that's like really hard to be without getting completely demolished. Yeah. So it's rough. It's rough out here, and I feel for anybody that is a single parent trying to date because holy shit. It's almost like I'm just at the point where I'm like, I'm just going to be alone for the rest of my life. Because what's the point? What's the point?
A man who pursues a single mother knows he will never be the top priority. Her child is. You won't be able to do many activities with her because her time is always taken up with her child. Dating her will likely be more expensive because of babysitting costs. Sometimes even her own mother will charge for watching the kid. Then there's the child's father, who in many cases hasn't let go or is a problematic guy. There's often a toxic dynamic there. Add to that the trauma from her past relationship, the constant complaints about her current situation, and very likely a fear of starting a new family. Personally, I see it as too much to deal with. If you're a father, you understand that dynamic, so it may not be a problem for you. But if you're not, jumping headfirst into that, and worse, raising another man's child who you'll most likely never see again if she leaves you, is a double hit. It's too much to handle, in my opinion. But what do you think?
So I've noticed lately that broke men are trying to convince single mothers that rich men don't want them. And the funniest thing about that to me is the reasons are usually like, oh, it's so much harder, it's going to be more expensive. They're looking at the children as obstacles. They're looking at these women as used goods. And here's the thing. Successful men don't base what they want off of how easy it is to get it. In fact, in my experience, when there's a bit of a challenge, it's more exciting for them. They're not going to go with the easiest lay, right? They're going to go with someone that's interesting to them. And the qualities that make someone a good mother really makes them an interesting person and a really good partner too. So, food for thought. These broke guys, dusty guys, really shitty guys are going to try to convince you that you're not worth as much because they're trying to get a baddie for a discount.
Are you dating a single mom? I have a secret for you. You will never come first. Her kids do every single day for the rest of your entire life. Why? It's very simple. Because they came before you. A bond was created without you and way before you ever entered the picture. Pregnancy, birth, sleepless nights, doctor's visits, school runs, everything. That bond is unbreakable. It's biology, it's instinct, and it does not negotiate. Before you, she was all over that exciting, dominant bad boy, the one that she felt raw attraction for. That's who she chose to have kids with. But once the kids are in the picture, the switch flips. She starts looking for the stable, reliable provider to step in, somebody who handles the bills, the security, the daily grind of raising those kids. And guess what? That is you. You end up raising another man's genetic legacy while competing with the children for her attention, time, emotional energy, and even intimacy. This has nothing to do with her being opportunistic, bad, or disloyal. This is nature running the program. Protect the offspring at all costs and secure resources for the survival, right? So ask yourself today and early, are you okay being second choice forever? Are you okay investing in kids that aren't yours biologically? And are you okay having your needs last on her list? Whether you answer yes or no, know the game before you play it. And in the end, the choice is yours.
So I saw a guy on here say no high value man wants a single mom. And my question is, why do y'all hate us so much? What did the single moms do to you for you guys to feel like we are just the bottom of the bottom? Like, God forbid I took care of my responsibilities instead of getting an abortion. Because, you know, it would have been easier for me to, just be like, let me go ahead and get rid of that because I'm not married. But I decided to go ahead and take care of my responsibilities. And yes, I could have married my child's father, but guess what? My mental health was dwindling trying to keep her in a two-parent household with somebody that was cheating on me all the time. The woman with no kids next to me could have 7 to 8 abortions under her sleeve. Does that mean she deserves a high-value man because she went to the abortion clinic 7 times? I mean, what is up with that? Because single moms are out here making it happen. You trying to say that we don't deserve love from a high-value man, whatever that really means? So we deserve to get the bottom of the bottom. We get the bottom of the barrel, man. Is that what you're trying to say?
First of all, The second woman is absolutely right. For example, look at the first ex-husband who got her pregnant and compare him to the stepfather. You'll notice they're different kinds of men. In her prime, she wouldn't have chosen the stepfather to have children with. For her children, she chose the man she was attracted to, the one with the DNA she wanted for them. That's why in many cases you see less attractive men who are solid, dependable beta providers with very beautiful single mothers. But the children aren't his. She wasn't looking for love. She was looking for a responsible father figure for her kids. Maybe she'll have a second or third child with him, as long as he proves to be a good provider and a responsible man. I'm not saying this is right or wrong, but it's the reality for many men. Now, if she marries a single father, then we're talking about a man in the same situation she's in. It's not that she doesn't deserve a high-value man. It's that in your prime, you didn't choose one to be your husband. You chose Chad. Now you want to go look for a beta provider.
Hearing some men on this app talk about they would never date a single mom with children, as if they are some magical golden prize. Pointing out that single moms just come with baggage. Meanwhile, Jerry, you're in 3 situationships. Like, let's talk about your little carry-on baggage there, shall we? And I'm going to speak from experience here. Yes, there are some women out there who are toxic who have not done their healing. I'm not going to deny that. But that's a human issue, not a single mom issue. And last I checked, healing is individual. And by you lumping all single moms into a category just shows your lack of emotional maturity. So trust me when I say you don't have to worry about this single mom looking twice at you. Because looking at your profile, I'm almost certain that I would run circles around you any day of the week. Have a great day.
When a man asks a single mother for anything, he has no respect for nobody. He ain't got respect for women. He ain't got respect for his mama. He ain't got respect for your mama. He ain't got respect for the mama. He ain't got respect for nothing when a man asks a single mother for anything. Especially when her income tax. Y'all know it's income tax time. That's what I'm telling y'all. If that man asks you for any money on income tax time, knowing that you are a single mother, that man does not respect you. And if you be in a relationship with him, you will be taking care of that man because he already showed you he didn't respect you because you were a single mama and he asking you for money. Can he drive your car? Disrespectful. Why? Because your car is the car that you get your kids around. Disrespectful. When he break your car or get your car impounded or whatever the fuck it might do, is that nigga gonna buy you a new car? No. Don't do it. Don't let the nigga move in with you because then he want to bring all his friends over. Then when you get kicked out of your house with your kids, where you gonna go? No. Men who date single mothers and want them to do something for them don't respect women.
A mother being single isn't the issue. Her being poor is the issue. To all the misogynistic men out there on TikTok hating on the idea of single moms and being a single mom, listen up. The mother being single has very little bearing on the child's well-being. Men who mistreat their wives and leave them with nothing are the issue. So how do we solve it? By ensuring that women get their fair share in divorce. Ladies, if this sounds like your situation, make sure to ask your attorney how to find the money. And remember, you can petition to have your ex pay for your legal fees. It's time we stop listening to idiot haters. It's time that we stand up for what's right.
This lawyer looks like she's a single mother. Ma'am, right now a single mom is one of the easiest women to win over in the dating market. Unfortunately, some men take advantage of that because they're easier to make fall in love. They're women who don't have high demand. They tend to attract the kind of men the second woman described. Now, not every man who's in his prime wants to deal with that, especially when it's a woman who was involved with a problematic guy, who's in a custody battle, who stops by outside of scheduled hours, or who's constantly in contact with her, because many of them never really cut ties with the child's father. So put yourself in this man's shoes. He can easily find a woman without children and build a family from scratch. Is he really going to want to deal with a single mother with everything that comes along with her?
You know, dating a single mom sounds fun, right? until you realize that there's no time. It's hard to find time. Honestly, it's a lot. But it's also pretty amazing. But you got to learn to have spontaneity in your life. You know, like have a little fun.
Why do men hate single mothers, and why do single mothers threaten the structure that holds capitalism together? So obviously there are surface reasons that men have given as to why they don't like single mothers. But I think at the root of all these criticisms is the idea that a woman should need a man, and if she doesn't, then she is a threat to the nuclear family structure, and therefore she's a threat to capitalism as a whole. And the men who need their dishes washed, clothes cleaned, food cooked, and asses wiped do not want that shit being perpetuated. So they shame single mothers instead of praising them for being the parent who stayed. But how do single mothers threaten capitalism? Well, just like women are afraid of men are afraid of men as well. And if rich men are going to ensure that poor men, aka the overwhelming majority of men, aren't going to them, then they need to pacify poor men in order to make them feel just as privileged as they actually are. Black people, both in the past and today, have taken the main brunt of placating poor white men's need for superiority. And now that everyone's fallen on some pretty rough times financially, the US government is going to go to even more extreme methods in order to soothe these men and keep them complacent so that they don't strike. Single mothers, especially the ones that have formed community with each other, are proof that society does not have to be ran the way rich, cis-het white men want it run, and that terrifies them. Single mothers, I know it is rough out here, but I am rooting for you.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
There are 5 things you need to know before dating a single mom. And knowing these 5 things is going to save you a lifetime of pain and suffering. You're not her priority. The kids are the priority. Kids require a lot of attention just to keep the little beasts alive and unharmed. It's a package deal. Even if she's an amazing woman, no matter what, if she's coming out of a split, she's got baggage. We've all got baggage, but she's got extra baggage. You're not the daddy. Kids require discipline to grow in the right direction. But reality land is that you are not that kid's dad, so your opinion is not going to be considered, at least not in the beginning, and you're going to have to deal with that. So my question is, have you ever dated a single mom?
Not the priority. I have a cousin who was over 34 when she met the man who is now her husband. He's a great man, and they've been married for over 10 years. I was young when I saw their relationship begin. I have to say that, even though he's been a very good man to her, I know that in her prime, she wouldn't have chosen him. He's the kind of guy you'd call an old-school family man. He dresses in a traditional way, works an office job, and seems like someone straight out of the 70s. He doesn't have children of his own, but he's been the best father to her kids. They love him dearly, just like our family does. Her friends speak highly of him now, but when she was younger, they used to tell her not to date him. My cousin understood that she was looking for a father for her children. He fit perfectly into the role of a dependable beta provider. And don't get me wrong, he's happy by her side. But one thing doesn't cancel out the other. A single mother often sets her sights on the calm, steady guy, the one with fewer options in the dating world but a stable job to lock him down. And I think he's happier having her in his life, because I believe his alternative might have been staying alone. Like I said, I don't see this as wrong, but it does need to be said. What do you think, brothers?
Women.
I'm sorry, dating in 2026 needs to be studied. It needs to be studied because what is going on out there is horrendous. I have not dated a man properly in like over 10 years and I just don't understand what is going on. Why do they act like they need to be chased? And if you don't message, then they're not going to message you. What is happening? Because I just thought, okay, maybe it's just one person, they're not that interested. But this keeps happening like all of the time. And every girl that I speak to is confirming that this is normal. Of course, I'm not naive to think that when you're dating, these people are totally single. Everyone has someone. I so get that. But when I was dating my ex, he made it very known that like, yeah, I want you. Like, we're going to be together. And that was it. And we just fell in love really quick. There is so many mind games, there is so much uncertainty. It's like you don't know whether you should be messaging or not. I just wish people could speak with their heart and their like true intentions, and then things would just move so much quicker.
Someone tell me why literally every single option when it comes to moving the conversation off a dating app feels wrong. Every single one of them. Snapchat, to me, it's giving immature and cheater vibes. Sorry, personal opinion. Instagram, I don't want to give that for 2 reasons. Because then I can't share the tea on my Instagram. And then also, I don't want him to create a perception of who he thinks I am based off my post before actually meeting me in real life. I just, not yet, thank you. Thirdly, if I give him my number, then if he's smart like me, then he's going to search my number up on Pay ID and then find out my last name, and then he's going to give me a good old internet stalk, and then he's going to end up finding my social media after all. So I just feel like none are a good option. So what are we doing? Where are we moving the conversation to? Please don't say Snapchat.
Gotcha, bitch! Okay, so the most challenging thing about being single, if you've been single for long enough, you get to this weird place where you're so happy and so content being by yourself, hanging out by yourself, cooking your own meals, sleeping in your own bed. When you think about sharing that space with a man, I'm sorry. I'm aware that I have to overcome this, okay, because I don't want to be alone forever. But to share my sacred place with a man, I just don't think it's ever going to fucking happen. No. Ew.
The longer a woman stays single, the harder it is for you to date her. That woman is already 30. She has routines, friends, and habits that are deeply rooted in who she is. So how is that woman not going to want a man in her space? Men are following their own path. They're not sitting around waiting for any woman to enter their lives without bringing something to the table. Just look at that woman who loves to criticize her dates on social media. Do you think a man would want to go on a date with a woman who's later going to evaluate him, good or bad, with strangers online? Who's going to share private conversations with the world? Because today's date becomes tomorrow's story time. Men are learning, and they're sending these women to the wall because of their ridiculous standards, like the women you're about to see.
Dating program for 2026, because we are running a tight ship this year. Number 1, if he has kids, cut. If he still talks or even mentions his ex to me, absolutely cut. If he's not making more money than me, absolutely cut. You follow the last person that you slept with, you're cut. If you're under 6'2", cut. I'm 5'9", for reference, okay? 6'2" is the bare minimum. If he can't communicate his feelings and he's not emotionally intelligent, cut. That'll turn into a fight for the both of us, and we just don't want that. If he tells me what I can and can't wear or what I can and can't post, cut. If he wakes up after 9 p.m., cut. That's only a me thing. Uses Snapchat, still has it downloaded on his phone, cut. Care about what people think, cut. You should be too busy to care about anything. You're busy working. If you talk about another woman, absolutely cut. If you don't work out more than me, cut. If you'd rather choose a boys' night over hanging out with me, cut. If you'd leave me undelivered for more than 3 hours and it's not because of work, cut. Thank you. Have a great day.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
I'll be re-entering the dating scene in 2026, and we are running a tight schedule. So these are the things that are going to get you cut. If you expect a pat on the back for doing the bare minimum, you're cut. If you only do the bare minimum, you're cut. If you follow any lustful accounts, you're cut. If you have Snapchat, you're cut. If you try to use my past against me, you're cut. If you're rude to waiters, what's wrong with you? You are cut. If you complain about our relationship to other people, especially other women, you're cut. If you're not chivalrous, you're cut. If you have unresolved mommy issues, you're cut. I'm already a mommy to one beautiful baby, and I don't need another child. If you look over my shoulder while I'm on your phone, you're cut. If you only do things for recognition, you can take your gold star and get out of here. If you lead towards avoidant attachment style, you're emotionally unavailable, or have a lot of narcissistic tendencies, you're cut. If you play video games, you're cut. If you don't know how to take accountability for your actions, you're cut. If you're a 50-50 boy, you're cut. If you have a corn addiction or any other unmanaged addictions, you're cut. If you take PEDs or in general very insecure about yourself and your body and your appearance, you're cut. If you tell me I'm asking for too much, you're cut. If you don't know how to plan a date, you're cut. And if your response to this video is, what do you bring to the table? You're cut. For some people, this might be a strict program, but for me, it's the bare minimum. Happy dating.
While I'm here, I thought maybe we'll do another rant as well.
So dating is so out for 2026. It's not even fucking funny. The clarity, headspace, consistent mood, lack of fucking emotional roller coaster is top tier. So at the end of last year, I grew some balls and I went on Hinge again, fucking randomly. And there was this hot guy on there and I was like, wow, this guy's hot. Anyway, he was so funny and nice and super keen to catch up. The day rolls around that we're meant to be catching up and he goes, I don't know, it's kind of weird to be meeting someone off an app. And I was like, what are you doing here? I don't want a fucking pen pal. That was one of my prompts. That was quite funny, might I add. Oh, never again. Like, I'm dedicating this year to me. 100%. Love that for me. Bye, love you.
Ridiculous standards from the blonde girl, but it's even more ridiculous hearing them from a single mother. At least some people might give the first one a pass. Now let me tell you something. Imagine if men walked around with the same standards these women have. Instead of talking about height, they'd say, if you weigh this much, you're out. Or they'd mention certain professions, for example, psychologist or lawyer, you're out. It sounds ridiculous, but it's the same thing they're doing. Just imagine being told that if your body count is higher than 3, you're out. Single mother? You're out too. It sounds bad, right? But according to these women, it's perfectly fine when they do it. They disqualify 80% of men. That's why I'm glad to see how this girl went looking for that 20% on the app, and he told her he'd rather not. That's what it feels like to be disqualified. Let's continue.
Women.
In 2026, I'm getting back on the dating scene, but we're running a tight ship around here. So here's my program structure, as I heard someone else call it. Here's what will get you cut. If you have a Snapchat, you're cut. If you scream at a video game, you're cut. If you tell me your ex was crazy, either we have a sit-down dinner or you're cut. If you complain about a relationship to another woman, you're cut. If you follow any lustful accounts, you're cut. If you try to act nonchalant, you're cut. If you buy a girl anything, even a bottle of water, you're cut. Who cares if she's parched? If you compare me to your ex, you're cut. If you tell me you don't remember when I ask you a question, let me remind you, we're done. If you have any of your ex's phone numbers, you're cut. If you take too long to post me, you're cut. I'm not asking to be posted. If you have friends who cheat, you're cut. If you look over my shoulder as I'm on your phone, picking a song, putting in the GPS, anything, if I find you looking over my shoulder, take your phone back and your stuff too. If you talk to a female coworker in any context other than work, you're cut. Clock out or get locked out. What are you doing talking to her? If you have a girl best friend, you're cut. If you bring up my past or try to use it against me, you're cut. If you tell me what to wear, you're cut. If you have a bad reaction or a jealous reaction to what I'm wearing, you're cut. If you ask me who I'm posting for, you're cut. If you ask me what my post means, you're cut. If you tell me to delete a picture, you're cut. If you are disrespectful to any of my friends, you're cut. If you hesitate to give me your phone, you're cut. If you call my stuffed animals anything but their name, you're cut. If you like a girl's bikini picture, you're cut. And if you follow any of your past situationships or flings that lasted over 2 hours. Either you met a pretty girl and you never spoke to her again, anything other than 2 hours, you are breaching my trust. Thank you. May the best man win.
I am so sick of being the man in every single relationship that I've decided for my next prospect I'm going to set up an obstacle course, okay? So number one, the first obstacle is changing a tire. You would think it's simple, but in today's society, men don't know how to do basic tasks like build a house or change a tire. Number two, they have to shoot a moving target. Now, if you're not into the whole shooting thing, football that shit, you know, like it's okay. But you have to hit a moving target, like a football field distance away. Like it shouldn't be that hard, okay? Number three, build one piece of IKEA furniture, and it can't be something simple. It has to be like the shelving unit, or it has to be like a bed frame, something that's going to make them go insane, okay? It shouldn't be that difficult. I'm not asking for the world. I'm asking for these 3 things, okay?
Fuck up, you crazy bitch whore!
Who knew that saying I would require a non-refundable deposit to take me on a date in 2026 would send so many broke men into a spiral? It's almost like they forget that I am paying for a babysitter, transportation, nails, Hair, makeup, time, effort. Most of those things cost me money. And yes, I am now dating with intention. I am dating to marry, and I am going to marry a provider. And if that offends you in any way, you were never my target audience. It's like so funny to me that my content is actually rage bait for angry men, because I originally started posting for the girls and just to connect with like other single moms and women in general. But triggering men actually accidentally just became my favorite new hobby. So I'm going to keep doing that.
Mother asking for a deposit just to go out with her. No, but it's true. Worse things are coming, like the Bible says. Just listen to the standards of these young women. This is a perfect example of the bad influence of social media. Do you know how absurd it is for a woman to tell me, "You're out"? If my friends are unfaithful, what the hell do I have to do with what other people do in their lives? When her friends are dating 2 or more guys at the same time, does that mean we should disqualify her too? And honestly, who in their right mind would pay to go out with a single mother? Now that Chad left her with a child, now she wants to get married. Now she wants a provider. That's why people say they choose the man they're attracted to when they want to get pregnant. But once they're single mothers, they start looking for a father for their kids. Brothers, don't fall for that trap.
I fully believe that 95% of all men in the United States would have taken a plane ride to Epstein Island.
You know what I fully believe? That there are some individuals out there that are so deluded that they would actually be so desperate for likes and views that they would not only try to convince themselves of such a thing, but others as well. Just imagine having the audacity to accuse 95% of the male population in one country of being so depraved that, well, listen to this.
Even with full knowledge of what was going on there.
Oh, gentlemen, it gets worse.
For most of them, what was going on there would be the feature, not the bug. But the rest of them would be making excuse after excuse to get on that plane.
Just imagine the level of loathing that a person would have to hold in their hearts towards an entire population of people, might I add, based on a characteristic that they have no control over, to say such things. Quite frankly, it's women that say things like this that honestly sometimes make me embarrassed to share the same gender as them.
Fuck up, you crazy bitch whore!
So all the men from my previous post saying that they have found peace by being alone and they're not trying to date because they just want peace. Are you trying to say that we don't bring peace to your life?
Yes, that is actually what they're saying. In all seriousness, most men want a relationship, but all men are not willing to have the wrong relationship. Because both men and women are realizing that having peace is superior to having the wrong relationship. And that is exactly why not getting involved with the wrong person is key. One of the things that I always recommend every man do before getting involved with a woman that you're interested in is doing a background check on a trusted website like publicdatacheck.com. That is where you can safely learn about somebody's past history before getting involved. It can save you a lot of hassle.
So today I came to a super harsh realization that I am not going to be able to date as a single mom. I'm not going to be able to date anybody with the state of how my life is right now. And that sucks big time. Like, it's not that I don't have the time to date anybody. I don't have the time between my kids and my business and life. I don't have the time, but I don't have anything left to give to anybody. And that's just not fair to them. It's not fair for somebody who's looking for a partner to be with somebody who only can take, because that's all I could do right now. It's like, that's all I could do is take from somebody, because that's what I need. Like, I need a support system, and I need somebody to pick the pieces up for me. And I don't think it's fair to ask for that if I can't do the same thing. But the really harsh realization set in for me when I realized that I am going to be raising my kids alone. I am going to be living in my house alone. I'm going to be continuing my business alone. And I'm going to be living out probably the rest of my 30s alone. And that sucks. That sucks. Because I didn't think I was going to do that at all. I definitely don't I don't want to do those things with the person that I originally thought I was going to do them with, but I don't really want to do them by myself. But I don't want to do them with a bunch of other people, a bunch of different people, and I don't want to do them with the wrong person. So, yeah. Here's to being a single mom and doing everything on your own because you realize that it's better for your kids. And I guess in the long run, it's better for you if you do it all by yourself.
With the first woman, brothers, intelligence is chasing her, but she's faster because only someone foolish or desperate for validation would say something that ridiculous. I imagine her father, brothers, and sons were on vacation there, because if they're men, they belong to the group too, right? Men today are looking for a woman who brings them peace. Once you're past 30, you're not looking for drama, pointless fights, meaningless arguments, and all the chaos some women love bringing into a relationship, especially when the man himself isn't confrontational. That's why we avoid women coming out of toxic relationships or single mothers, because they carry too much baggage, like the last woman. They drain you. And in a world that keeps moving faster every day, a man has to stop and think about his well-being and ask himself, does this woman bring me peace? Does she make me happy? Does she add anything to my life? If the answer is no, then remove the stress from your life, brother, because stress kills.
At the end of the day, all men want is to watch football, drink light beers in a jerk circle with each other, and just like be gay for each other. That's what they really want.
Fascinating. Not the least bit true, but still fascinating.
They don't want to be in a relationship. They don't want to get married.
A person could actually say that about both men and women. A lot of individuals are actually choosing to remain single and are very happy for being so.
Since women can provide for themselves now, I feel like men have lost their purpose.
Their purpose? What exactly was a man's purpose prior to women being able to support themselves, I mean?
It's like they don't feel the need to seek out a woman and start a family. They don't feel the need to work really hard to make a bunch of money to make a family and provide for a woman. They don't want to do that. They just want to be with each other in a jerk circle, watching football and drinking light beers.
I'm just going to say it. There's nothing wrong with a person choosing to remain single. It doesn't make a person a better person than someone else if they're in a relationship. There's nothing wrong with being single, and it's about time that some individuals out there accepted that.
I no longer give a fuck if he shows up. And I know that's probably an unpopular opinion as a mother or as a single mom, but I've gotten to a point in my life where I genuinely do not care if the father of my children shows up for my kids anymore. And that comes from many years, I'm 4 years into being a single mom, but many years of inconsistencies, many years of begging for the bare minimum, many years of being disappointed when he didn't show up. I was always the woman, even when I left, that would keep him connected to his kids. I created the bridge. I sent the pictures. I sent the text messages to keep him updated when he never asked himself. And I've reached a point in my life where I am not going to care if he doesn't care. And I think more women need to have that mindset. I am so tired of extending everything that's in me to care for my kids every single day of the freaking year when he barely shows up, to use any other of my energy to let him know what's going on in our household and what's going on with his kids. If he wants to know, he can ask. If he wants to be a part of their life, he can show up. And that is for anyone. Any parent can show up for their kids. It is the bare minimum requirement of being a parent to show up for your kids, to take care of them, to pay for their needs, to give them emotional, mental, and physical stability and support. Those are all bare minimum things. But a lot of parents in this world right now do not even provide those pieces. So if you are in my situation and you are a single mom, it's time to stop caring. It's time to stop building the bridge between your kids and their father if he is not even giving you the pieces to create the bridge in the first place. It's okay if you don't care. All you have to do at the end of the day is show up for you and for your children. You're creating a foundation completely on peace for your kids every day. And that's what matters, not involving someone who doesn't want to be involved. Because ultimately, it's probably going to be that way for the rest of their life, that he wants to pop in and out when he wants to. And we shouldn't feel feels about it anymore. I'm not mad. I'm not angry. I don't even care. I'm not sad. I don't care. And that's the mindset that we have to keep, because we need to protect not only our peace, but the peace of our children. We don't want them around people that are going to be inconsistent in their life. So if he wants to choose that route, please do. I do not care if you show up anymore. And if you are in a similar situation, that mindset is completely supported.
You guys want to see an example of a wife getting offended that her husband has to talk to other women at his work? Here it is.
Okay, yep. Well, it was good chatting with you. Appreciate you taking the time. And yeah, if you need anything, just holler at me. Otherwise, I will see you next week. Yes, ma'am. You too. Okay, sounds good. All right, bye.
The problem that I see with this is that man followed everything to a T by the book. Like, he did nothing wrong. He was warm, kind, and professional, and he wanted to get off the phone. Also, men that are very interested in another woman, like, he doesn't want to get off the phone. And some women got after him for using the term ma'am, which I see as like super formal. That's not a term that you would use on a woman that you're really interested in. Maybe some of you will disagree on that. But from my viewpoint, the man did nothing wrong to signal any sort of red flags. All this is coming from is internal stuff from within the wife. And as long as she can recognize that and she doesn't end up giving her man the silent treatment or treating him terribly, then hopefully she can just learn from it, work on it, and grow from it. Otherwise, that husband is probably never going to know peace.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Personally, I don't know what kind of men the first woman dates, but since I know she makes these things up, let me clarify something. According to reputable studies, this is the generation that drinks the least alcohol, watches the least sports, and goes out with friends less than previous generations. I'd even say you see more packed gyms now than nightclubs, because men are more focused on becoming the best version of themselves than on wasting their money. As for the single mother, I'll just say this. In the end, the one who loses the most when your child doesn't have a relationship with his father is you, because your child will grow up without a male role model. Believe me, that's extremely important. You should reach a better agreement with him. And about that guy talking to someone from work, corporate offices are full of women, so it's very likely that he has to work with them professionally and respectfully. I don't see anything wrong with that. The problem is that some people want to turn everything into an issue. And if he loses his job tomorrow, guess who will probably leave him a few months later?
Okay, oh, excuse me, I just burped. Excuse me, where are all of my Gen Xers that are on the dating scene at? I've asked this before and I'm going to ask it again, but where's the best place to meet people? Like, people just don't go out in real life anymore. Yeah, meeting someone at a pub used to be easy when I was young, but now it's not so. I know that most of the dating apps are a pile of wank, to be honest. But yeah, has anyone got any suggestions of any good ones? Anyone got any fit brothers or dads you can send my way, you know? Anyway, yeah, let me know where's the best place, because I'm running out of ideas.
This message is for the man who said that older women who don't have a man are going to end up alone, bitter, and basically cat women. So let me just update you a little bit. First of all, we are better and not bitter because we left you low-life, cheating, lying son of a guns alone. Now, this is not every man, but to the vast majority of you, kick rocks. We don't want you and we don't need you. We out here, we doing our own thing. We got our own homes, we got our own cars, we got our own careers, got our own money. We are traveling on our own. And baby, when we sitting on the beaches of Santorini, clicking glasses together, we ain't thinking about you at all. We hustling and grinding every day. Because you all don't want to do what you should be doing, we have had to do what we need to do to survive and to get better and be okay with ourselves. So baby, when we at home without you, That means our bathrooms are clean. That means we're not picking up after you. That means if we want to order out, we can order out and we don't have nobody asking us no stupid question like, what we going to have for dinner? Because we ain't worried about it. Take ourselves to the opera, to the theater, to the ballet, anywhere we want to go, and we ain't got to worry about what you like and what you don't like. Do you see what I'm saying? Matter of fact, things are looking a whole lot better, minus you. So why would we want you? We're not worried about being alone. We're not lonely. We've been there, done that, got the t-shirt and the hat, and we're giving it all back because it wasn't no good. So don't worry about us, even if we got a cat or a dog or a bird. They make better company than you. Sisters, comment.
Damn! Imagine going on a date with the first woman and she burps like that. Immediate disqualification. Now I have to say that older women are not aging particularly well. You could clearly see that woman is carrying a lot of anger. You're also seeing a growing number of older women traveling to tourist countries, especially in Africa, trying to find younger men because they don't have options back home. The reality is that this isn't feasible for many older women, since a large percentage rely on government assistance or live below the poverty line. So you have to ask whether their so-called empowerment really worked out for them, because many of them end up alone, bitter, and with a cat.
Women.
We've reached the end of the video, but before we go, the questions are for you. Why does it seem like loneliness is affecting modern women so deeply? Why are men choosing their peace instead of dating women like this today? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. Your support means the world to us and motivates us to create more content. Stay tuned for the next exciting video from the channel.